Yo, we are back.
I'm not doing that.
I ain't doing it?
Yeah.
Alright, I was trying to start something.
I'm not doing that.
But we are back at the floor.
And then without clearing with us first?
I thought instinctually you guys are going to jump in.
Harold Melvin in the blue.
Alright, whatever. Hey man, we are back at AnimeMKE. This is Geekset as always, man, and we are here to have a whole lot of fun. You already know the same things that we do all the time. We're gonna talk cosplayers. We're gonna get some interviews. You know we here as press. We got some press badges.
You got the press badge.
Got some press badges.
You see him?
We gonna buy some stuff. We gonna buy some stuff, man. We're just gonna have a really, really great time at AnimeMKE 2022, man. Again, we are happy to be back. This is the second convention we've been back to since
We
2022.
are back. We are back.
Now we can
Now y'all wanna say it. I hate y'all, man.
All right, that's good.
So, with you being in a band and having that love for music, how was it being on a show like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, who is everything music?
Yeah, it's a really cool tie. I am aware that a lot of the characters' names are pulled directly from famous bands. And I'm also half Italian. So the show, it feels like such a perfect fit for me to be on JoJo's, the Italian background and the music background.
With studios getting way more advanced with like doing turning like cartoons to live action and everything.
Yeah.
Now we got Sonic 2 and we know we got Knuckles in there and Tails in there.
Yeah.
And he talks about showing up as Vector showing up.
Listen, if Vector is showing up, I'm not able to tell you right now. Really, could you imagine that? If I'm like, yeah, he is. I hope in the future, but you know what? It's an interesting time right now because you never know. In fact, more often than not, they're apt to hire an on-camera actor to voice these characters. More often. Now, I know Colleen has already announced that she's going to do Tails in Sonic 2, and I'm so happy for it. But that kind of is not the norm. You know what I mean? You kind of expect, I expect if they put Vector in 3 or 4 or something like that it's going to be like The Rock who's voicing him or something. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to come and get me. If they do, I would love to do it. Of course, that would be like a dream come true. But, I don't know.
So I know you said Chun-Li was your favorite. Is Street Fighter also like your most favorite fandom?
Oh, I have a lot of, I would say my favorite fandom. That's hard. I like Persona 5 a lot. Persona 5 is my favorite game. And I also really enjoy Fire Emblem. I feel like I play JRPGs a lot. So I feel like even though like Chun-Li's my favorite cosplay, and I have cosplayed the main character of Persona 5 as well, and I have done Fire Emblem characters too, I think those are my favorite fandoms for sure. When it comes to video games at least,
Oh, we could have opened it
to anime?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite anime fandom, that's a hard one. I have a lot of favorite animes, but when it comes to like the fandoms, I don't know if I dabble too much in it. I do collect a lot of anime figures and prints and stuff like that. But I find myself on Twitter with video game fandoms more than anime fandoms. Now that I think about it,
And especially Twitter. Anime Twitter is huge.
anime Twitter is huge, and I definitely follow a lot of like anime Twitter people. But I think like for anime Twitter, I'm more like in the art side, and I just like liking art and stuff like that. But I can talk about Persona 5 all day and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess I'm more on the video game side when it comes to fandoms, which is something I haven't thought about before. So I'm glad you asked me. I might have to think about that more later. Like, why is that? I'm not sure.
So I got a question. So with blurred culture being so big and
constantly growing and growing now. From your perspective, how has it been seeing that like that culture grow as much as it has?
Been beautiful. Oh my gosh, I've loved it so much. I started cosplaying, I would say like in 2011, and I didn't see too many people that looked like me back then, and because of that, when I started cosplaying, I was focused on accuracy and like I have to build like these really cool like cosplays that look a certain way, and I have to make sure I look just like the character. And then of course I was young and I was afraid of getting bullied, so I was like, I guess I have to just cosplay Luigi and like make characters that look like me and stuff like that. But now more and more words are coming out in cosplaying and like believing in themselves and stuff like that. So it does. I feel like not only did it help me, I feel like it helped others. Like we helped each other in a way, like uplift and like be ourselves, our nerdy selves and our otaku selves, and like it's totally okay. So I really enjoy seeing like the word fans grow.
Which of my voice acting, which of the
Which
characters?
character that you acted, you think like the best Power Ranger?
Best Power Ranger. Oh gosh. That's an interesting question. What?
Oh, I just.
I thought you had something. I thought you were. I thought you were
Demon
bailing
Slayer,
me
because
out.
He seems like a team player.
You? Does he though? He's a bit of a loner.
I know, but like he was like the first one to really say like I think this kid has something. Like,
True, but it's harder for me to see him as like I see him in the group, but he's like, you know, he's a little different. He doesn't have too many friends, you know, so. Let's see. I think maybe Narukami,
Okay.
you know? Yeah, Persona 4, yeah.
So fun question.
Yeah.
Obviously you did a lot with Pokemon. If you could pick your starter Pokemon, what would you pick?
Oh, like which Pokemon would be the starting one? I don't know who's actually good. Like a starting one would not be someone like Charizard, who is great, right? I mean, because that would be great to start with. I don't know if I had a favorite. Maybe like Onyx or somebody. Or what's the one that puts everybody to sleep? Jigglypuff. Is that starter?
Yeah, it can be started.
Okay, then Jigglypuff. I would like Jigglypuff.
Well,
That would be cool.
most likely to start as Wigglytuff first.
So
Jigglypuff, well, it gets complicated because then Gen 2 they make
Oh my god, I love how
pre-evolution.
I love this. This is great. Now hold on a second, guys. This gets complicated. You can't straight up start with Jigglypuff. You gotta start with Wigglytuff. And then from Wigglytuff, you have to go to Gigglypuff. And if you get Gigglypuff, then you have to get Hufflepuff. No, it's not Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff's from Harry Potter. Oh, that's right. Sorry, it's not Hufflepuff. Forget I even said that. What is it then? It's Jigglypuff. Okay, got it. It's amazing. It's Pokemon.
So with Demon Slayer and it being so amazing, when you got the Demon Slayer role, did you know that it was going to be this monster house that it is?
No, not at all. And as some of you may know, like my character his arc hasn't even started yet. So I voiced Muichiro, and I've probably said one or two lines so far in the series, and so there's so much more to come, which I'm excited about. I did do some additional work on the video game, so I'm in the game. But yeah, I had no idea. I think it was I kind of learned through Zach Aguilar that it was such a big franchise, and it has such a big following. So it's pretty cool. I'm proud of that.
Put you on the spot. What was your favorite Zord?
Favorite Zord? Frog Zord. That's easy.
I like that.
Even though you can get a response when you contact
I mean, I ad-libbed that. That wasn't even in the script.
Oh, when you said that?
Yeah, that was made up.
I laughed so, like, to this day, I watched it like recently, and I had to laugh at it.
Yeah, we were, okay, so the film, we were shooting that in Australia, and, you know, I was very new. I just worked on one season, and then suddenly we're shooting a movie, you know? And so we got the script, and I was looking through it, and I was like, oh, and for me, my favorite part was like to do any action scenes. And so I saw that the Black Ranger had a ton of cool action sequences, and I was excited for it. And then there was a revision that came out like shortly after, a couple days after. And then all of those action sequences were given to another Ranger. And I was like, that's weird. The producer walked in, well, this person complained because they have seniority, you're new, and they felt like they should have more things than you. And I was like, well, that sucks. And I was like, well, what can I do about it? Nothing. Okay, so I just like, all right, well, I guess we won't do anything. But I was a little bummed out. And so we get to that scene where, you know, we get our new powers, and I'm like, you know what, I'm pretty bummed out. And I started thinking in that way. I'm like, well, the frog is the least cool animal out of all of these. So I asked the director if he would let me be bummed out about it. And he was like, well, let's do it like the script first, and then we'll play around with your idea and we'll see how it works out. And so we did, and that ended up being what they used.
Nice. I do have a question. So we've been asking blurs all across the world, what does Black History Month mean to them? We put out a really dope compilation video. I would love to get from you, what does Black History Month mean to you as a Black cosplayer?
So, as like overall, I learn new things I just love learning things that I didn't know before. Like, did you know like the first person that made an at-home video game system was Black?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And like when I learned that, like I was like, if they taught me this in school, it would have changed my life. Like just knowing that we were in the video game space and we did something that was so cool would have changed my life. I feel like those moments are what mean the most to me in Black History Month, because unfortunately school didn't teach me that. I just learned about Martin Luther King every year over and over again, and I didn't learn about those facts. I feel like those things like mean a lot to me. There's a lot of creators that are sharing facts in really interesting ways, and those moments I feel like mean the most to me because I really appreciate those moments a lot.
So you talked about people coming up to you saying you inspired them. Who inspires you in cosplay?
I would say Kiara Please is my biggest inspiration.
Yes,
So when I started cosplaying, like I would say more seriously, when I started like taking myself as a brand and trying to grow as a creator in that way, I noticed that she was one of the cosplayers that was like actually working with brands and like really making it work on social media for her. So like I really like looked at her work for inspiration to mine as well. Like she's the first one that I saw doing side by sides, like a picture of her and a picture of the character next to her. And that was back when Instagram only had square ratio. And I was like, that's an excellent way to show your entire cosplay without getting it like cut off and stuff like that. Simple things like that, I took inspiration from her in a lot of ways. And yeah, she's definitely one of my favorite cosplayers for sure.
Have you got a chance to do a mashup?
Yeah, I haven't, at least like hung out and stuff before. We haven't cosplayed together, but she lived in Atlanta for a while and I lived in Atlanta. So we hung out some before she moved to LA and stuff. But yeah, she's really, really, really nice person. Yeah, really amazing person.
What's your next big cosplay idea?
I've cosplayed Miku before, Hatsune Miku, but she has a cherry blossom outfit, like that's all pink instead of blue. I really want to do that. Like I wanted to do it for Valentine's Day, but there's not enough time. But I still really want to do that because I'm gonna have to make another like really huge Afro puff wig for that. And I'm ready for a new project, so that's something I really want to get to as soon as I get home. I plan on working on that, yeah.
lot of wigs.
Yes, I make wigs.
How does the storage look? Where are you storing these wigs?
Oh my gosh, my room is like mostly like I recently bought my own place, my own condo, and I had to make sure there was a closet in there that I could just like only put cosplay stuff in there, or else it was just not gonna work. So I have a cosplay closet, and I also have kind of like a cubby that I put my wigs in, and I like store it by color. People always ask me how many wigs you have. I refuse to count. It was like, I don't even want to know. It's a lot. I have a lot of wigs that I've made, I've purchased, sometimes I buy straight wigs and then curl it myself and stuff like that. I've restyled. There's a lot going on in there, yeah.
Well, hello there. Hisoka here, and you're now watching Geekset. I'm just kidding, no, it's actually Keith Silverstein, but you know.
Thank you, man.